With all the latest news, discussion and talking points from the football world, this is Football Central. And go.
Hello everybody, it is Jordan here and welcome to, I don't know, we haven't got an official title, Will didn't give me one, but I'm just going to call it a Christmas review of the season so far. Obviously I am Jordan, hello, how is everybody doing? Time to introduce you to who will be helping me today. Joining me is the man whose channel this is on, Mr. TubeMix. Hello, how are you doing?
Thank you, good evening. I'm really looking forward to this tonight.
And the evergreen, always positive, Mr. Sam Taylor. How are you, mate?
Oh, thank you, buddy. That's a very nice, that's a better welcome than I get normally from you. Yeah, I'm good, and I hope everybody is managing to stay positive despite all these new restrictions. And we're here to give a bit of light relief and hopefully enjoyment over the next couple of hours to take you away from your troubles. But yes,
It's very interesting, isn't it? I haven't been on this channel for I don't know, maybe about 2 weeks now. I've been busy working, busy doing other stuff. Maybe I don't know what the hell's been going on, but I've not been around for a while and. I've said to you guys a couple of times, and I said it in the comments in your last live stream, the Premier League picture seems to have changed massively without changing very much at all, if that makes sense.
Yes.
yeah, I know what you mean.
So instead of the traditional roundup, I'm going to sort of go, I don't know how you guys want to do it, but I think maybe to go team by team.
Yeah,
could be a way,
that's what I was thinking, yeah.
Or just to have a general chat and just make sure that we talk about all the different teams along the way.
Oh yeah, that second option sounds good too.
I mean, I think it's worth getting out of the way straight away that Liverpool have just, become into this. That they've hit the ground running. They're fantastic now.
Yes.
They're by far for me the strongest team in the league, and so far they look a decent bet to carry on. To go into to win the Premier League again. But you never know.
You're only 6 points clear then.
Yeah.
No, 4. Is it 4 or 6? I'm not sure.
And I think what is it? They're 4 points clear of Leicester, aren't they? But I just think, my opinion is that they look the strongest team by a mile. Obviously, there was quite a bit of football on Amazon Prime over the last week was it?
Yes.
There was a lot of football on Prime. I watched every single game. I got to see, a number of teams and Liverpool. I was impressed by Spurs as well. Of course, they played Spurs in that big game.
Yes.
Obviously Spurs are up there. United and Sheffield United I watched, and a couple of other games. But yeah, Liverpool for me just seem a fantastic team, and they won Team of the Year, didn't they, for BBC Sports personality, and
yes, they did.
Klopp won Coach of the Year, and deserves it. If anybody deserves it, it's him.
Definitely.
I always feel like he is, as a person, he is so humble as well.
I could imagine going to the pub and having a drink with him.
Well, he's German. They love it, don't they?
Yeah,
They love a bit of a pint.
yeah.
But yeah, no, for sure, Liverpool are fantastic.
And if they do it without Virgil van Dijk this season, then God help the rest of us.
I think they're I don't know. You know, they concede more chances than they did without Van Dijk.
They're bound to though, because he is.
But I also think, you know, look at Palace, for example, right? Like Palace were a good side. I was speaking to a friend of ours, you probably know who, considering it's Liverpool, and he said like that Palace didn't really even play that bad.
No.
And yet, Liverpool still won 7-0. And the quality of the goals, you know, Minamino's goal was fantastic. Henderson's goal was brilliant. Salah's second goal was fantastic. Mane's goal was brilliant. You know, it gets to that point where it's beyond, like, a good team, a title-winning team. It's just like sheer world class.
It is.
Yes.
And even though they have got what I call a top defence now, rather than a world class defence with Van Dijk in there. But their defence is still as good as anybody else in the league table. The defence is still as good as anybody else's, which means that going from the best to as good, which means that with the rest of the team, they're just still too strong for anyone.
It's interesting as well, I think, because even the young lads that have had to come in and play the odd game in defence, you know, obviously we know about Neco Williams and how good he is, but there's also been like Nat Phillips or Reece Williams and players like that have come in and also done the job. And then you think about some of the lads that are out on loan, the quality of, like, say, Harry Wilson, for example, or the fact that Harvey Elliott is absolutely smashing it at Blackburn. You know, there's a lot to be happy about if you're a Liverpool fan. And
there is, and it shows how good the team is. The defence might not be quite as good, but they are still frightening.
You know, even further back, the young goalkeeper Kelleher, or however you say it, he seems very good as well. So even if they lost Alisson, I wouldn't worry about them, and that's what makes them. You know, I still think City will be up there. I think they have been inconsistent, but I think we've made the habit of saying that without really understanding how close the league is in general. Think about it. Chelsea, for 2 weeks in a row, missed the chance to go top twice. And then they ended up in 9th, and then they won against West Ham, and now they're in 5th. Or United, who were 13th 2 weeks ago, and now what are they, 4th?
Third.
So, you know...
If we win our game in hand, we go 2 points behind Liverpool, incredibly.
You know, City the same. City were in 11th or whatever last time we spoke, and now they're higher up than they were.
8th.
So I think
no.
The thing is that I'm you know, it's been an amazing season because I don't think there has been one team up until like the last couple of weeks that have been consistently brilliant.
Yes, you're right.
You could argue that Liverpool, there is a danger that if the one teams behind Liverpool and keep slipping up and they don't, that they could run away with it.
Because Liverpool were winning but not playing well. But Spurs have been really good. Spurs have been pretty close to brilliant. That's mainly, Son and Kane, And Chelsea have played well in spells. Ultimately, there hasn't been one single well-performing and well-winning team until Liverpool the last couple of weeks.
Do you think there's a danger? Do you think there is a danger that Liverpool could run away with it?
I think.
I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying the type of team that could go on a real run and if they almost keep dropping points.
I think they are 100% going to win the title.
But you're not answering the question. Could they, theoretically, if other teams keep dropping points, could they run away with the league again?
Yeah, you never let me finish what I was saying, because what I was going to say was yes.
Right, okay.
What I was going to say was yes.
Oh, it's all getting... It's getting a bit feisty here.
But it's not, though, is it? Because I'm just saying that Sam didn't let me finish, that's all. I also think...
You, oh, sorry.
I think... Obviously, if other teams do keep dropping points, then of course Liverpool, with all the quality they have, yes, of course they've got to be up there. Do I think they will run away with the title? No, but I'm thinking now. I'm thinking now. I said, didn't I, at the beginning of the season and a couple of weeks ago, I'm pretty sure when we were last doing it still, I was going with my gut feeling that Chelsea were going to win the title. Now, I'm changing it, and I actually think Liverpool are going to win it, but it's not it. They're not going to run away with it, but I think they will win it actually.
Right for those Man United fans.
Oh, get over it, Sam.
Hey up, Will, don't be getting fresh now.
Sorry. Right, are we ready to move on to Leicester to talk about them?
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about Leicester as well. I watched them. I've seen them play a couple of times as well. Like, a consistently very good side under Rodgers.
Jordan, didn't you have something you wanted to say on Liverpool before we move on?
I was just gonna say, when you look at the teams around, how the hell United are where they are.
It's bizarre.
Baffling.
I don't know, but with the last couple of weeks, you could say the same about Chelsea as well, because they haven't done brilliantly.
No.
They're still up there. Everton as well, they haven't done brilliantly. They're still up there. City absolutely got away with one against Southampton.
Oh, they were very, very lucky.
On the weekend, Southampton just, it's no surprise that obviously Ings came off because he was injured, but took Adams off because Adams must have had, 5 or 6 half chances.
Arsenal have equalised.
Who scored it?
Lacazette.
See, it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think that Arteta tends to go with either Aubameyang or Nketiah, but Lacazette is perfectly capable of doing a job.
He just needs to be consistent, doesn't he?
He was falling on the ground, and he was falling, and as he was falling, he still contacted up with the ball as it was coming down. Knocked it past. I think it's Edison in the goal. I'm not sure.
And I'm just looking here on the BBC Sport website on the updates that somebody texted 5 Live and basically said just before, not long before Arsenal equalised, nobody on that pitch is playing for the manager. The board need to act Arteta out.
Well, maybe you want to say on Arsenal or any of the other teams we're discussing tonight. So as we're doing this roundup on Football Central.
I think it's another one of those as well. Obviously, while I've not been involved in games and stuff, in videos, sorry, I have watched a couple of times, and I've watched back ones that we've done before, and we do tend to hit along the same points. Which is why I thought it was best to, why we talked about doing this instead. For Arsenal, to get it out of the way, to get it done with, they are just, something is wrong.
Yeah.
Is it Arteta? God knows. Is it the players? It must be in some respect. Is it the higher up stuff? Because we know
It's all of it combined.
a couple of years ago that's the same. But United are having all that problems. United are having those problems. Players that aren't really playing that well are bored and higher ups that are a mess.
Yes.
And a manager who, in my opinion, is way, way, way out of his depth. Because Arteta, although he's a good player, he knows Arsenal, all this, so does Solskjaer, but it's a big thing. It's a big job.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Big jobs for both of them, and same for Frank. In some respects, Frank, I think everybody talks about, Frank Lampard didn't do a very good job, blah, 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 last season. He had no money to do anything, and yet he brought kids in, and they did the job, and they finished fourth.
Yeah.
He did a brilliant job.
He did a brilliant job, of course.
Anybody says, if you look at it the right way, Frank Lampard did a brilliant job with absolutely no resources at all.
Exactly. I think you have to definitely credit him for doing a fantastic job last season.
However, is it a lot on him? Is it a lot on is it a lot of pressure? Is he probably out of his depth in terms of how much heat will come onto him? If it carries on the way it has, we've seen it on him already. Young managers and inexperienced managers doing jobs like that it's a poison chalice. It really is.
Yes.
And the problem is there's many problems. For Arsenal, nobody's ever going to replace Wenger.
No.
For United, nobody's ever going to replace Ferguson.
No.
For Chelsea, there was Mourinho. Then they had a couple of bad years. Then they brought in Ancelotti. Then they did well. Then they brought in Conte. Then they did well. For Chelsea, it's that consistent thing of every, 2 or 3 years changing a manager, then winning a title, then sacking them, then doing whatever. Do I think that Lampard has it in him to win the title? He's got the squad, but it's a big ask.
Yeah.
And the same for Solskjaer, the same for Arteta. City, United won't win the title. Chelsea won't win the title.
No.
Anybody's going to do it in terms of the managers they've got, the squad they've got. It's going to be Liverpool or City.
Yes.
Or,
what about this season?
Outside bets, for me,
Leicester.
Spurs could do it. If they remain consistent, Spurs could do it.
Oh, yeah, Tottenham have got the players, yeah.
Leicester could do it. I don't know why I think that, but there is something within me that says Leicester could do it.
So, talking of Leicester, boys, I want to go back to Leicester. What's really been impressive for me for Leicester is they've had lots of injuries, lots of players out, but they've still proved, that they've still been able to really manage, without the likes of Pereira and Maddison when he was out, Dennis Pratt. So it's really been impressive, I think, that Leicester...
Not a Daniel Amati for like 2 years, has he? Either he was.
Oh, you're right. Player. Yes.
But I think I don't know. For me, I think it's good management. I
think it shows how good their squad has become. They've got a really good squad, and you look at the way they've coped with Europe as well, in terms of players.
Yeah.
You took a couple of key players out from Southampton's side, they'd really struggle. as good as Casemiro is, but I think then they've lost players in the past, like Mahrez, Chilwell, and Kante, who are irreplaceable players. They've actually built a great squad. No, the
So
squad is
that's the
the,
thing. That's you
the
turning
squad.
around and sorry, that's you turning around and you saying they're irreplaceable players. That's because on the face of it, it seemed like there was, there's no way they were going to replace a Mahrez, a Kante,
No.
a Chilwell, a Maguire, but they have, and that's what's
No, I'm
fantastic.
not sure they've replaced them. I think that they've built a better squad. The squad is better now than the squad was then. If you took that first 11 one by one to the first 11 now, you'd probably mostly take the first 11 then, with a couple of people who are in the one now. But the squad, the Leicester squad as a whole, is better, which is why they've been able to cope with the Premier League in Europe. However, it's another interesting one with Leicester because, like we say about United's home record not being very good, Leicester's home record's rubbish in the league as well. I think they've only won 2 games.
The thing is, though, I think Leicester can, because Leicester are, they're not expected to be the kind of team that's going to be winning and doing whatever. They can get away with that.
Yes.
No, I get that. I'm not saying that, and I think it's great where they are and where they've come as a club since they've been in the Premier League. They've gone from a side that was relegation fodder to a side that's consistently, challenging mid-table, challenging the top end of the league. And to do that in the space of, I know winning the league helps them with the finances and that, but as a club to become a top club in the space of, with a top team in the space of consistently in the space of 6 years is pretty.
Yeah. And I think they deserve it. You look back at the early Premier League years for Leicester. The likes of Heskey and Matt Elliott at the back, Ian Walker in goal. They had a good team, throughout the Premier League years, Leicester, and they deserved to be back where they were. They were one of those teams that, were right the way back down in League One 11 years ago and came all the way back up through. Were challenging for a couple of years and finally got back to where they were. And with such a good team, it seemed as well like, they won the league. Yeah, and I'm not taking anything away from the fact that they won the league. But what I am saying is, you wouldn't think it would be possible to have a better team now than they did when they won the league. And for me, not necessarily man for man, because a Mahrez, a Kante,
they will get in.
Whatever. What I'm saying is, as a whole, as a squad, as a unit, even management, coaching, they have got a better squad than they could ever have even hoped for when they won the league, which is unbelievable.
I get what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying to you now, is that man for man, man for man, for me, that's starting 11. Not all of them, but because you'd probably put Pereira in there and maybe Tillemans and Madison, but as an 11, it would be very close. But what you're saying is true. Their squad is better now to cope with top football than their title-winning squad was, because there was such a drop-off between the first 14, say, that they had to pick, and the rest of the squad when they won the league, and they were very lucky they didn't get any injuries.
It's interesting because nobody.
Well, their squad, just to finish, their squad as a squad now, you could say they've got 16, 17, 18 top players, which has meant that, yes, they missed certain players, I've got no doubt that they missed Ndidi when it wasn't there, but we've got players who can come in and are good enough to play. You know, Justin and Thomas have both come in and done very well. Castagna's come in and done well.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
So
He
you
is
know,
good.
they've got 17, 18 players that could all be starters, theoretically.
Yeah, it's what has been a brilliant. It's weird to say. I just don't understand it because it's weird to think and say a transformation from a side that won a league, but they have transformed into a better club than when they win the league. And I know that it you know, it might be a negative way to look at it or a bad way to look at it, but it shows how much they respected and loved, you know, the ethos of the club. That from the death of the owner, they seem to have just gotten even better.
Yes.
The recruitment is spot on.
And I think just to finish the point on the death of the owner, I think that they deserve that because they did it for their owner. You know, for you know, and that shows how much that they loved the club and everything that the you know, that family, just to quickly, for anybody who doesn't know, the family that owns King Power, that own Leicester and whatever, have done so much for Leicester as a city and been so involved that the culture that's been created from the club, you know, by them, you know, and there was lots of people who were skeptic about it at first, as they always are. But look what they've done for Leicester as a city,
They are proper football owners.
They are, yeah.
Who have genuine, a bit like Man City's owners. All right, you can say that they have billions to spend, but you look at what they've invested into the local community and having the hub where people can go and play sport, even if it's not for Man City, and all that they've done. And it's a similar now. City to Leicester, there's, you know, City are richer than Leicester, but the same ethos is there. You know, I remember the chairman gave £3 million for Leicester, from Leicester, the owner, sorry, before he died, Vishai gave £3 million to Leicester's hospital a year. To the local
he gave them all. He gave every single member of every single member of the title winning squad a blue Audi R8 or something like that, is it?
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous. Because, like, I think you can tell how much he loved the city and the club and everything. But
to think he gave all the fans
free pizzas, didn't he?
Pizzas and donuts, and like on special occasions. That just says everything to me.
That whole thing, you know, I love the whole Leicester story so much. You know, it means a lot to me in terms of, you know, my relationship with football. But it's also so amazing. Like, I don't think you'll ever hear anything about like that ever again.
No.
It's just it's phenomenal.
Any club would give anything to have fans like owners like Leicester would, wouldn't they?
And it just shows how if a club's run properly and gets the recruitment right, even if they're not the richest club in the world, now I know they've got a lot of money, but they're not the richest club in the world, but it just shows if you get your recruitment right, like, that you can go from being a lower league team to a higher league to challenging for the top 6 or top 1.
But I think that's kind of the.
You've got everybody pulling in the same direction.
I know it's a little bit different, but I think like in terms of being able to make that rise through the leagues, I think you look at Sheffield United as well. Obviously, it's, they got in a Sheffield, a Sheffield United lad in Chris Wilder, and that made a massive difference.
Yeah.
No denying, of course, that things aren't going too well for them right now.
But you look at where they've come.
Yeah, but you look at you look at where they come from, mid-table obscurity in League One to, surviving in the Championship, doing really well, finishing 9th, and still being there with, some of the players or a main squad of the players that were still there in League One.
Yeah.
So,
that
sort of thing means everything.
And we're challenging for Europe till the last few weeks of the last season.
And I think that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why why we root for a Leicester, a Sheffield United.
We love an underdog. It's a British thing. We love
even like Everton. Right now, and how well they've done under Ancelotti. Everybody couldn't believe how well Everton were doing. And it's because we all, it's like you always say about Celtic. You hate Celtic, blah blah blah. Celtic Rangers, blah blah blah.
I don't hate Celtic. It'd just be nice
the Scottish Premier League is getting so much more positive stuff for 2 reasons, right?
Yes.
One reason, obviously, it's Gerrard as manager.
Yes.
And secondly, everybody is so used to Celtic winning that, it's going to change the outlook of the league.
Yes.
It's going to change people's...
Rangers were right up there, though, up until they went into administration.
But, I mean, it's going to change everybody's perception of the Premiership, because ever since Rangers went into administration and had to fight their way back from Scottish League 2, ever since then, it's been all Celtic, all Celtic. And we all know it's boring.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, Barcelona every year is boring.
But
Bayern Munich, Dortmund every year is boring. But it's the one thing that coronavirus has done, and I'm not saying it's just about coronavirus, but there is it factors in, is it has made all of the major leagues really, really interesting.
Yeah, because Real Sociedad, top of the Liga.
Even but they're not anymore, are they? It's Atletico Madrid now.
Oh.
With I think it's Atletico Madrid with 2 games in hand.
Oh, okay.
So it just makes things interesting, and I think we're all getting to that point where the season is kind of starting to settle a bit.
Yep.
So maybe we know what might happen, or maybe we don't. We still don't. Let's face it. Let's not do a will and say, oh yeah, Sheffield United are down, Liverpool are going to win the league, blah blah blah. We don't know. This 2/3 of the season is yet to go. But what I'm saying is, things are starting to make a little bit of sense now, and everything's kind of starting to make sense.
I know we don't definitely know for certain. Obviously, we won't definitely know until the final day.
No, you make out like you do, mate. You're like, yeah, this is definitely happening. But yeah, no, I could talk about Leicester all day. If I had a second team, it'd be Leicester.
I think they are everybody's second team. But one thing on those people's, unless you from that area, you don't support Leicester. But one thing I would say is that You know, you talk about Sheffield United, and in a different way they've been the same, but like what Leicester are building is consistency over seasons and seasons at the top level. Because Sheffield United have been very consistent under Chris Wilder in the progression, but Leicester, in terms of the top level, I think it gives hope to, even if they hadn't won the league. So even if they take out the year they won the league, we'd all be saying, "Wow, Leicester have run well," because they've finished third last year and a couple of 7th and 8th place finishes.
Yeah.
So that you know, we'd be saying, yeah, they're a club on the rise. Look how they finished 5th last year, and wow, they've broken into that top 6, and now they're doing it again. Aren't they a very good club, even if they haven't won the league? So the thing is with Leicester is they've started to become really consistent and consistently challenging at the top. And everybody goes on about this big 6. I don't know. Like, I get who the big 6 clubs are, but you know, Leicester finished in the top 6 last season. So, and Arsenal didn't. Now Arsenal are down in 15th. We talk about them being in the big 6. Now we talk about the big 6 clubs, but we also talk about the big 6 as in the 6 best teams. But for my opinion, Man United, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and who's the other one? Who've not mentioned. But anyway, those 6, and they might be the biggest clubs, but within that, you've got some of the best teams in the league, but they're not all the best teams in the league.
No, of course not.
United, all right, we might be third in the table. We're not better side than Southampton.
No.
I'm sorry, but we're not. And, you know, Arsenal finished 8th last year, and everybody sees them as the... I get the big 6 club thing. I get that these 6 clubs are the best 6 clubs in the country in terms of history and stuff. But they're not the best 6 teams, necessarily. Some of them are in there, but not all of them.
No, I agree with you. Are you ready to move on then, boys?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So, what can I say? I mean, United are in 3rd, and it baffles me, to be honest.
In a bit of dreamland, we are.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's utterly bizarre because, you know...
I'm going to say now, I thought you played awfully against Sheffield United.
Yes. Yes, they did. They didn't start great, which was nearly happening every single game.
But then we won again.
Yes. Which seems...
and Leeds played into our hands, sorry. Go on.
Well, yes, I was surprised. I was expecting to not play very well at all.
The thing is you can't argue with results. This is why I keep saying, you know, they're going to come unstuck, because you can't, you know, fair play to Sheffield United. They really went for it. They played brilliantly, I thought.
They did, yeah.
But you will always come unstuck in the end when you're playing bad.
Yes.
Always. So it just depends. I mean, they didn't play that well against Leeds.
No.
It was a very open game though, but I always thought we might do alright in that game because we played very well in the counter attack. The way Leeds come on to you and mark man for man, they always leave themselves open, which we seem very good at dealing at.
Although, actually, I was expecting United to at least start very poorly, but I thought even the beginning they played actually well, to be fair enough.
What, United or Sheffield United?
Sorry, I thought you meant in the Leeds game, sorry.
Oh, you're at Leeds, okay.
But oh yeah, Sheffield United. No, they didn't start. They didn't start great at all in that, but still won obviously. So
Yeah, I mean, I think Leeds played. We did play well against Leeds, but they, as good as Leeds are and as creative as they are, they did play into our hands because they allowed us to play a counter-attacking style even at home.
yes,
Don't know what Jordan thinks about that.
The thing is Leeds, like we said a million times, Leeds play a style that's either going to make the batter teams or get battered.
Yeah.
And, you know, Bielsa doesn't want to change it.
no,
Fair enough, he's built a career out of doing it. You know, he's built a successful career where he's won loads of different things. So,
why would
you know,
you change?
it is what it is.
Although I do think, whilst me and Will were saying this on the show after the match, and the Leeds Man United League one, that you won't want them to change their style.
I don't want them to change the style. I love seeing them play.
Well, they were ridiculously open. Like they needed to defend a bit better.
They do need to tighten up defensively, Leeds. Yeah.
And they have got good defenders as well.
Yes, Liam Cooper, Robin Koch.
Robin Koch is awful. Robin Koch is shite.
Yeah, I'm not sure about him either. He plays in the German national team as well.
Yeah. For sure he does.
I was surprised.
He's got a few caps, hasn't he?
He was on there the other week.
Caps for Cock.
Oh, God.
Are we ready to move on to Everton, boys? I think.
Well,
What are you doing? Team by team? Because I thought we said we weren't going to do that.
Well, I presumed we. Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Well,
but we literally turned around to you and said we're not going to do that.
oh, okay, right. Sorry, my apologies.
It doesn't flow as well.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm going to mute myself actually because you guys know what I have to do. So
Okay, no worries.
So I'm going to hand over to Jordan, Sam, just for a few minutes, and then I will be back with you very soon. So let me just turn my camera off and then, yep. Okay, we get the image up and then, right, see you guys in a minute.
in a minute.
Ta-ra.
What do you think? Where do you think United can realistically finish this season?
I don't know.
Mum,
I don't
could you
know.
bring the
It's
tablet
quite
up,
hard,
please?
isn't it? Because I don't know, to be honest, because I think it could go either way, and that does make it quite difficult to predict. For them, I really don't know. I haven't got a clue, because they play poorly but do well. So what can you do about that? You know, what can you say about that? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's a strange one, to be honest. Maybe, and also viewers, if you want to have a say on what we're saying here, please get in contact with us. And maybe you've got some ideas for when we discuss your team. You there, George? Oh, He's gone. Right. Well, I'll carry the fort for a minute. So yeah, we'll just see where United. We'll just see where United end up. I think it'll be close to see where we do. I think it's anybody's guess, to be honest. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. I mean, with United, it's that way of not playing well but winning. So maybe that's a good sign for things to come. If we can start playing better, but then we'll probably start playing better and losing. So it's weird that if we win our game in hand, we only go 2 points down when we're actually not playing that well. Yeah, sorry everyone, I don't know quite what's happened to JLIWheels. But I'm here, Sam Taylor, and hopefully we'll get everybody back soon. But if you do want your say on any of the points we're discussing or your teams, then please do get in touch with us, even if it's not about the Premier League. It's your local team that you go and watch every Saturday, an amateur team, semi-pro, anything like that, or a team in the professional lower leagues, even if it's not England, then please do get in touch with us. And yeah, I don't know whether to carry on, to be honest, because I don't know what's happened to everybody. But yeah, we will continue. Just as a quick update, tonight, Brentford, a weakened Brentford side, beat Newcastle in the EFL Cup 1-0. Very disappointing for Newcastle fans because I thought they had a real chance of winning the of at least going far in the competition this year. But Brentford, I'm a big Brentford fan, and hopefully in the next round, Thomas Frank will pick his best side over 2 legs, because yeah, once you get to a semi, there's a great chance of you winning the whole thing. But Newcastle played a strong side tonight, so Brentford were by far the best team over the match. I think Newcastle obviously had their moments, but yeah, they were the much better team. So yeah, so we'll see how far Brentford can go, and it's now Arsenal 1, Manchester City 1. I'm gonna just go off a sec because I don't know what's happening here and whether we're live. But City scored after 2 minutes, and then like I said, equalised with a header. But I will be back. Okay, well, it still appears that nobody's here. So, right, well, I'm gonna message the lads and see where we're at. Yeah. But yeah, it's 1-1 at the moment. So we will see between Arsenal and the Arsenal.
Mum, could you give me the tablet, please?
But Yeah, they've come back well in this game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they seem to play well in the
Or you
in the
could do
league-
it when you come
league
up
games,
actually for bed, maybe.
and not very well in the not well in the sorry, when the cup games and not very well in the league games. I have no idea what's going on. Well,
Yeah.
you there?
Yes, I am there. Yeah.
Is anybody actually there?
I'm here, Sam. Out here.
No.
Oh, I know. I muted the wrong thing. Oh, bother. Thank you.
We got some water.
Yes, I've got a water bottle there. Thank you. Hang on. Right. Hang on. Right, hang on. Let me get rid of my video capture device.
Hello.
Oh, hi Sam, you alright,
you can hear
mate?
me? Turn your sound on.
Oh, yeah, I muted the wrong thing. Can you hear me, Sam?
Hello.
Oh, hang on. Now you'll be able to hear me. I muted the wrong thing. Oh, I meant to... Oh, it should have been the streaming software I should have muted. Oh, never mind.
What's happened? Where did Jordan go? What?
I've no idea.
Did you hear what I was saying about the matches and stuff? Or
Well, I was mainly out there in the landing, mate, waiting for my tablet, so... But I was hearing a bit.
are we still live? Or
Yes.
not? I'm so confused. Right. Okay.
Apologies,
That was
viewers, for...
I was sort of. Have you done what you needed to do now?
No, let me just take my tablet and then I'll be with you.
Alright, that's okay, I'll carry on. So,
Okay.
sorry about that. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh god, this is awful. I completely got the part. Because I was chatting to know if anybody could hear me. So we'll have to watch it back and see. But sorry, Will, I've just lost me a few subscribers, I reckon. Yeah, so just watching the game here, City coming forward. Oh, it's a penalty. Oh, Gabriel's on a bit of free kick on the edge. I think Gabriel's giving away the penalty. Oh no, it's on the edge. It's on the edge. Free kick.
Right, apologies, guys. I'm back with you now. I basically muted the wrong thing, so
What
dear.
did you mute? What did you mute?
I muted the messenger mic rather than the mic on the stream, so.
Oh, so you couldn't hear what I was saying? Is that...
I'm just trying to think. But then I thought I could hear you then.
I just carried on for ages talking about the game I was watching here, and then I went off and came back a couple of times because I didn't know if we were still live and where Jordan and Connor knew.
Yeah, I've no idea. I think George's internet, having a few technical issues, I think.
But yeah, by the way, Man City have scored. It's 2-1.
Oh, 2-1? Who scored?
A goalkeeping error by not Leno, it's somebody else. It is Riyad Mahrez. Speaking of Leicester.
And Arsenal have made their first sub. Gabriel Martinelli has come off. Nicolas Pepe has come on. He came on in the 49th minute. Which makes sense because Martinelli obviously has only just come back from injuries. So, in fact, I didn't expect him to be starting tonight.
By the way, Will, I'm sorry if because I did carry on for a bit when Jordan went off, when you were off, but then I went off. The streamer came back because I didn't know what had happened. So
No, it's okay, mate.
I only went off for a second and came back, but I tried to hold it together, but it might be a bit patchy.
I'll check. I'll watch the video back, tomorrow or something, and can see.
I'm sorry, I tried to keep it going, but because Jordan had gone there.
No, it's fine, Sam. At least we're back on now, and hopefully we have JLIWheels back with us in a little while.
I'm just gonna fill up my water, so if you want to keep going.
Okay, that's fine, Sam. I will keep the show going. I will steer the ship. In the EFL Cup quarterfinals, it's Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1 at the moment. Alexandre Lacazette scoring in the 31st minute, assisted by Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Jesus scored for City in the 3rd minute, assisted by Alexander Zinchenko. And Riyad Mahrez in the 54th minute scored to make it 2-1 to Manchester City. And also the other game in the EFL Cup today was Brentford 1, Newcastle 0, and it was De Silva in the 66th minute, assisted by Canos. I think that would be right. In La Liga, it's Real Valladolid 0, Barcelona 0. That's probably not the right. Real Valladolid? I don't know how you pronounce that. What's that, sorry?
Is that Real
Real Valladolid. I presume so. The way you said it, Sam, but you know me, I'm not good with Asian. Atletico Madrid beat Real Sociedad by 2-0, and JLIWheels was right. They are now top of the Liga.
Doing alright without Thomas Partey.
They are. And Luis Suarez as well. Jefferson Lerma, the Bournemouth midfielder, he's been charged with a biting offence, he has. In their 1-0 loss to Sheffield Wednesday on the 3rd of November. The club have archaeologized the charge that Lerma breached FA Rule E3 by committing an act of violent conduct in the defeat at Hillsborough. But Bournemouth say that Lerma strongly denies the allegation. They have until Christmas Eve to respond but will request a personal hearing. AFC Bournemouth fully support Jefferson and will continue to do so throughout the process, it said a club statement. And so we will see what happens with that.
We don't want anybody biting.
No.
3-1.
Oh, right, 3-1 to City, is it?
Foden from the angle. But from the left-hand side of the box, squeezed it past, dinked it over the keeper from a tight angle.
Yes, and there's some interesting, this is on the BBC Sport website, they're saying, hasn't Arteta learned from Partey not to rush a player from injury? Such a shame for Martinelli, I'd have kept him for Chelsea. Another one, feel sorry for Martinelli, he's worked so hard to get back to playing. Sets up the equaliser, now is to come off, let's hope he gets back again soon.
Yeah, that was a beautiful chip from Phil Foden.
I really like Phil Foden. I think for me he needs to start more. Whoops. Oh.
Right.
Yeah, just knocked something on my desk, but we're alright. So you're watching our review of the season so far, basically. Football Central with me, TubeMix, and Sam Taylor, and we seem to have lost JLIWheels. Hopefully he'll be back soon, because that would be really good. But not sure where he's gone. What's that?
Should we carry on from where we were?
Yes, I think so. What do you think we should do then?
I'm happy to do team by team if that's what you want to do.
Well, yes, I thought I kind of wanted to do team by team, but also, okay, well, let's talk about Everton then. Carlo Ancelotti coming in, obviously signing James Rodriguez, Richarlison. Well, obviously, I know Richarlison's been there for a bit, but signing James Rodriguez, Allen from Napoli, Doucouré from Watford. What's your view on Everton? At the moment.
Everton, a bit like Leicester used to be. Got a great first 13 or 14 players, but don't really have the depth. And when they get a few injuries to key players, like we've seen with Leicester this year, they can cope. They might miss players, but they can cope without them. Where for Everton, that's they seem to struggle when the full when the full side is not fit, or not available. So a good start overall for Everton. Had a little wobble in the middle. What can they achieve if they could get their first 11 the first 13 or 14 quality players out on the pitch week after week, then they'd probably challenge for a European spot. But a few injuries and you might find Everton struggle. To play Ben Goffrey at left back, to play Ben Goffrey at full back is when he's a centre half, just when they've got Seamus Coleman out, shows that they've not got the cover
No.
full back. So, and they should do if they're a top side. Like, I'm not saying they have to be as good as Coleman because he's the number one, but they should have other people in those areas. And I'm not sure the depth of the squad's big enough to get into Europe, but if they don't get any more injuries, then they've got every chance of finishing sixth or maybe seventh. I can see them finishing about seventh and claiming that last Europa League spot via the league position. And they could also theoretically qualify for Europe through the they could also theoretically qualify for the Europa League through the EFL Cup. And of course the FA Cup, as the big sides haven't gone into the FA Cup yet.
Yeah.
Domestic cups. But I just think it all depends on Everton on what they can keep players fit. Because
No, I agree with you.
They seem to really struggle even to fill the spaces with the right kind of players.
Yes.
If they a few injuries. I don't know what you think.
Yes, I agree with you. The first 11, got some really good players, but when they're out, the alternatives, I mean, Alex Iwobi is okay, but he's certainly not as good as, Rodriguez or whatever. So, and same with Fabian Delph as well. So yeah, I mean Everton. Yes, I'd agree with you with all your points. I would on Everton. They definitely need to strengthen to try and get a good backup side as well.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the backup side has to be as good as the first 11, but I'm just because that's almost impossible. But they just need a deeper squad that's got quality in it.
Yes, they do. Right. So I'm thinking should I attempt to try add JLIWheels back into the group chat?
You can do, yep. What do you think's realistic for Everton this season?
For Everton, I think.
There's no doubt they brought well.
They have brought well, yeah. Champions League, I think. Oh no! Actually, no. So I'm gonna say in the top 6, Europa League. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say about the same. Yeah, 6 or 7. They might just finish 7.
Yeah.
We will see.
Yeah, we will see. So I've
got a good manager, and I think a couple more transfer windows, and Ancelotti can add to the squad, then they'll be better at that for challenging for Europe even more once they've got the better squad and the more depth in the squad. I think Calvert-Lewin's been a revelation this year.
Yes, Calvert-Lewin has really matured as a forward. I like him a lot. I think he'll be a good player for England as well. So, yes, I think Calvert-Lewin is proving definitely very, very good.
Yeah, no, I think Duncan Ferguson's obviously worked hard with him. Because he was a winger at one time.
Yes.
Well, he was an attacking sort of centre wide player. He used to come, because he had so much energy, he used to come wide a lot, and didn't score as many goals as a result. Now he's a proper striker going through the middle.
Yes. Yeah, definitely, and hopefully he can kick on from here. Not just this season, but hopefully if it's anything like this season, I think he'll prove to be a top striker, Calvert-Lewin.
The thing is, he's probably always going to be back up to Harry Kane, but we will.
Yes, you're right, although Kane has proved, he's not been playing central for Tottenham, has he? He's been playing a little deeper, hasn't he, I think?
Yeah, but I don't know how you'd put Kane and Calvert-Lewin in the same team, but England team. But there we go. That's for Gareth to work out.
Yep. Right, you ready to move on?
Oh, good night. See you in the morning. Good night and happy Christmas. Right. Anyway, before I drop.
Well, I've no idea where JLIWheels has gone. Yeah.
We just left. And so I carried on, but like I said, I didn't know if anybody could hear me properly. Anyway, we'll keep going.
Right, okay. Yes, so Chelsea. I think for Chelsea, Lampard is still doing a pretty good job there. They brought in some wonderful players, obviously Werner, Havertz. For me, the best signing that Chelsea have made, though, has been Ziyech.
He looks a really good player.
Yes.
Really good. He looks a bit like De Bruyne in a way. He can spray his passes.
Yes, he's truly. I mean, I think he's already settled to that Chelsea team. Whether I don't really think that Havertz and Werner have done that great, particularly.
No, I think it's hard when you come to a new league, and I think Chelsea have got so many great players, and also that were already there, and have also brought in loads of players that it's hard to get them to gel, especially. Not that it's an excuse when you've spent loads of money on top quality players, but especially when they didn't have a pre-season.
Oh, of course, yes.
And it's been moving to England or to any new country during the coronavirus pandemic. It's all that must seem a bit alien because they're not living in a ideal world, and probably want to explore the city, or if they're in
yes, yeah, I get what you mean.
Being in London to feel homely, seeing what's out there, and they won't have been able to do that properly yet.
No,
because they will have been into London, but not the players that are new.
they won't have been to London that much, I don't think.
No, and they won't have been able to try out restaurants as much and things, and all that can make a difference when you're in a new country.
It helps you settle, doesn't it?
Of course it does, because you start to learn the culture of different things.
Yes.
And I've not had that, and I think, yes, that's the same for any player in any league, but I think with the way that everything is, we have to take that into consideration. Of sort of had a double whammy to get used to.
Yes. Now, we'll go more into that in just a bit, but I also just want to go back to, we're doing updates for the Arsenal v City match, and Ferran Torres has come on for Bernardo Silva, and Emile Smith-Rowe is on for Arsenal as well.
God. Sorry to call across you. I've just looked up and City have scored.
Again? Oh, blimey.
Not quite sure. Foden crosses the ball, and there's two City players going for the ball in the box, and it is. I think it might be Diaz. Hang on, let me just double check who it is. It is. Oh no, it's Laporte. Sorry, it's Eric Laporte.
Emerick Laporte, yeah.
Eric Laporte has scored for Man City. Quite an easy finish. in the box with two City players there, and he just guided it in with his foot. And if it couldn't get any worse for Arsenal, Aguero's just come on the pitch.
Oh dear.
4-1 with injury time about 18 minutes left.
Oh dear. This is going to be a very long 18 minutes for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Well, yes, and do you think personally? I mean, we don't want Arteta to go. We all think he should be given a chance, but do you think after tonight, Arsenal?
I don't.
I mean, because Edu has backed him. Arteta has said he feels he has the full support from the club, so.
Yeah, no, of course you've got to stick with your managers, for me. So we'll see. I'm just gonna go a sec, Will, because I just need to nip to the gentleman's room. But,
Oh yeah, that's fine, mate.
You keep them going.
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
And I'll rejoin. Maybe ask the viewers' opinion on Arsenal or on Chelsea or wherever we're up to.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, so yeah, let's put it to you guys. I mean, do you think Arteta should stay? I mean, I definitely wouldn't sack Arteta. I think they need to give him time, and I don't think anyone expected Arsenal to, be beating City tonight. And that's pretty much game over now. Arsenal, I don't think are going to come back from that. And yep, Sam was right. Emerick Laporte, he scored 72 minutes on the clock to make it Arsenal 1, Manchester City 4. Before Laporte, it was Phil Foden in the 59th minute. Before him, Riyad Mahrez in the 54th minute. Before him, Gabriel Jesus in the 3rd minute. Gabriel Jesus was assisted by Alexander Zinchenko in the 3rd minute. Fernandinho assisted Phil Foden in the 59th minute. Phil Foden assisted Laporte's goal in the 73rd minute. And Mahrez didn't have an assist. For Arsenal, Alexandre Lacazette scored in the 31st minute, assisted by Gabriel Martinelli. And it's not looking good. I mean, City are pretty dominating on pretty much everything. I mean, City 58 possession, 11 shots, 6 shots on target, 5 corners, 8 fouls. So yeah, they're dominating on everything. Arsenal 42% possession, 4 shots, 1 shot on target, 1 corner. And they're all equal on fouls. But yep. Another result in the EFL Cup, if you've just joined us, Brentford beat Newcastle by 1-0 with De Silva in the 66th minute, assisted by Canos. And so that's Brentford through, and Thomas Frank, of course, really great for him, and such a really great team, Brentford, and still seem to be doing pretty well, even though the loss of Ollie Watkins and Said Benrahma to West Ham and Aston Villa, respectively. So good for them. And Ipswich Town, they have got a few games called off because of a few COVID-19 positive tests. So 8 people, including boss Paul Lambert. So yes, we wish them well soon, and yes, I mean, and he's hit out with the, coronavirus testing that the EFL do compared to like the Premier League. Now Sam will be back in a moment. You're watching Football Central with me, TubeMix. It's all gone a bit slightly pear-shaped. I had to go for a bit. JLIWheels, I've no idea where he's gone. Whether his internet has gone or he's just completely disappeared. And then I came back, and then Sam will be back in a minute, but he went as well, and we're not quite sure really what happened. Well, I'm gonna try and JLIWheels again. And oh, hang on. Oh, Sam's gone. All right, okay. Right, let's try that again. So we'll see if Mr. Eartham comes back. If you like what you're seeing, I think it's been a good one tonight. Yes, it's been slightly wobbly, but if you want to, feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel. It'd be really good to, get things back up and get that good thing going again. So, yep. Right. So, 78 minutes on the clock now. And Sergio Aguero come on for Gabriel Jesus. Rodri has come off for Kyle Walker. This is Manchester City. And Alexander Lacazette is replaced by Balogun for Arsenal. And City are playing with a 4-2-3-1 tonight. Well, I might as well give you the team news. So it's youngsters Zach Steffen in goal instead of Edison. João Cancelo right back with Ruben Dias and Emerick Laporte. The centre-backs, Alexander Zinchenko at left back. Then it's a midfield of Rodri and Fernandinho. Then it's Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, who came off. Ferran Torres is now on. Phil Foden, Gabriel Jesus is off with Sergio Aguero on. And on the bench is just come on now Kyle Walker, John Stones, Raheem Sterling, Ilkay Gundogan, Sergio Aguero, Ferran Torres is just on, and goalkeeper Edison. For Arsenal, it is Runarsson in goal, Mustafi, Gabriel Seglazinac, Cedric, Mohamed Elneny, who's gone off now, and Milrose Smith is on, Ceballos, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Joe Willock, Alexander Lacazette, who's gone off for Balogun, and Gabriel Martinelli has gone off for Nicolas Pepe. And that's your teams for today. And let's look at the stats from Brentford and Newcastle to see if let's see if they really represented the game. So Newcastle had 51% possession, Brentford had 49%, Newcastle had 12 shots while Brentford had 14. Newcastle had three shots on target while Brentford had 5. Brentford had 7 corners while Newcastle had 3. Brentford had 9 fouls, Newcastle had 14. So pretty much it's not a good not a good time for Newcastle. And now Barcelona doing. Barcelona are 2-0 up now. Clement Lenglet, I don't know, in the 21st minute, assisted by who else but Lionel Messi. Eric Braithwaite in the 35th minute, assisted by Dest. So it's Barcelona 2, Real Valladolid 0 in La Liga. And will Celtic, Neil Lennon has admitted that Celtic must find consistency to close big gap on Rangers. So we will see, and they play Rangers on the 2nd of January. And Jefferson Lerma, the Bournemouth player, has been charged with biting for the game in their loss 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday on the 3rd of November. The club have acknowledged the charge that Lerma breached FA Rule E3 by committing an act of violent conduct in the defeat at Hillsborough, but Bournemouth say Lerma strongly denies the allegation. They've got until Christmas Eve to respond, but will request a personal hearing. AFC Bournemouth fully support Jefferson and will continue to do so throughout the process, said a club statement. And so that's what they said. So we will see. But you can't do that in football. You cannot bite someone, If that's the case, maybe he should be, I know they won't, but Luis Suarez, he should be banned from football. And I think we have Sam back now, I think. Hi Sam, you alright, mate?
What's going on? I noticed the chat's been off.
Well, I don't know, mate. It said you just left the call.
Yeah, I said, well, I'm going to the. I said I was going to the toilet, so.
Yeah, I've continued to do the YouTube video. Yeah, so we're still on.
Oh, but it said the call had ended.
The call had ended, but yeah. Well, yes, but.
Did you end the call, the YouTube one?
Well, when it said you weren't gonna come back, I don't think. Oh, maybe I did. Oh.
It's alright. It's alright. Let's carry on.
Yes. Well, I've just been going through a couple of the, big sporting stories, and obviously 85 minutes on the clock now. Manchester City 4, Arsenal 1. So we will see. Not going very well for Arsenal at all today.
So where do you think Chelsea can finish in the league?
I definitely think they'll be in the top 4. I think. I definitely think they'll get Champions League football. Do I think they'll win the title? Not now, no, because I do think Liverpool will win it. But
yeah,
I still think they'll be out in the top 4. Oh, and now we're going to be talking about Burnley later, but the Burnley, they were meant to be having a takeover. Well, now they've pulled out of a potential deal to buy Burnley.
What? So Burnley aren't being taken over?
No, they're not. So it was Mohammed.
I thought they were meant to be.
They were, but no, they're not. So Egyptian businessman Mohammed El Kashani and solicitor Chris Farnell have pulled out of a potential deal to buy Burnley.
Oh, do we know why?
No, I don't know.
Oh, that's a shame, because I thought Burnley would do alright with investment. They need a bit of investment.
Yes, they do need investment. I mean, Sean Dyche was not very happy, was he, about, he didn't think they got backed. during the last transfer window.
I agree. He's done well, Sean. So it's a
He
shame,
has, but
hopefully-
maybe it is time for
hopefully it's
Burnley,
Williams.
Bournemouth, Eddie Howe did a great job there for many years, but maybe they need a new voice, maybe someone with fresh ideas, maybe.
No, I won't get rid of Sean, but I think they need help and support the managers from the owners. So let's hope. I hope somebody else comes in. And anyway, shall we move on?
Yes. So we go on to Tottenham. Well, I have to say, Tottenham are doing very, very, very well, particularly the partnership of Kane and Son. I mean,
particularly before the last couple of games, they've had a bit of a blip, haven't they? In the last
they have, yeah,
games.
but I think Mourinho's building something good there. I think.
Yeah, no, he's but potentially, I think they've lost a couple of games, so it'll be interesting, even in the EFL Cup tomorrow night, to see how they react against Stoke, and then going into Boxing Day and the Premier League game that they've got coming up in Boxing Day. It'll be interesting to see how they do. So
Yes, it will, won't it?
We will see. I think they've had a good start. They look solid, particularly defensively. That they've shown that they can be very ruthless and shut out the opposition in typical Mourinho fashion. But I've also got great pace on the counter. I think if things aren't going very well, then the fans will want them to be a bit more expansive. And I'm not sure under Mourinho whether they've got it in them to be expansive. But we'll see. It's been a steady start from Spurs in the league. They're only a couple of points off the top of the table still. So, even though they are down in sixth place, is it now? So
Yes.
A week ago they were top of the table. So it just things can turn around very quickly this season. So,
They can. Well, in football, can't they? 1 minute you could be doing well, the next you don't. It's as simple as that. So.
Yeah, and top four, I reckon, for Tottenham, that's got to be the aim.
I reckon so. Yeah.
And maybe trying to win the EFL Cup.
Yeah. I think that'd be quite a good season for them. Them finally getting a trophy.
For the first time since 2008.
Yeah. Right. Kane, I have to say, I know Soda's been a great player, but I've really only appreciated him recently, how good he is.
He's an excellent player. He's world class for me. World class footballer.
He is, yes. And I'm really enjoying the documentary on Amazon Prime, the All or Nothing series, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, if you've not seen it, then I'd recommend it.
Absolutely, and I think Daniel Levy, he has got a lot of stick, but he does seem, you see him actually chatting with Jose about, what he's thinking about his team selection as well. Talking about, they were talking about Dele Alli and in it as well.
He's a very good businessman, isn't he? So.
He is, yes, but he does seem to be a football man, and you do often actually see him at matches, so...
Yeah, you do. He runs a tight ship, but it's a well-run ship, so...
Yeah. And I think Tottenham... I think they'll do well in the... Europa League, I think.
could potentially win that competition.
Yes, 'cause even though I've got a feeling that Arsenal are not going to do great in the league. Sorry, going back to Arsenal, but I do think they could do well in the Europa League.
Yeah, well, we will see. We will see what happens. It is all over, and it's finished Arsenal 1, Manchester City 4.
So Arsenal are officially out of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they've still got the FA Cup, and they've still got the Europa League. So I really don't think it would be pulling the trigger really and panicking by sacking Arteta.
Yeah, well, we will see what happens. He's certainly under pressure, but we'll see what comes Arsenal's way. Shall we move on to the next club?
Yes, so Southampton. I really, really love Southampton. Ralph Hasenhüttl, I really, really like him. They play some good football.
Bounced back well after that 9-0 defeat.
Yes, I remember seeing that game, on holiday, and just absolutely stunned of how the ruthlessness that day, and I thought surely.
And also how Southampton capitulated as well.
Yes, surely. I was thinking after I saw that game, surely Hasenhüttl's going to go after that. Because they weren't in a good form, before that match, in the weeks, months before. But surely after that. What's that?
They were in the relegation zone.
Yes, that was it, yeah. Surely he's not going to. Surely Hasenhüttl's going to be sacked or is going to be gone. But you know what? No. Ever since that game, they've been good, and they've really picked themselves up in the most impressive way. And it's a credit to Hasenhüttl and his staff and the players really for responding.
Absolutely, they could have responded in a number of different ways, in a negative way as well, and they've not done that. So
yes, exactly. They could have absolutely, crashed. That their heads could have gone down, but they could have hidden. But no, they've.
But actually, since then, they've actually accumulated a lot of points.
Yeah, they've got better. And I think Southampton. I'm still going to go with them finishing in the Europa League places, I think.
Yeah, no, I think they'll just finish outside because I'm not sure they've got a big enough squad if there's a few injuries, but I'm certainly going top 10.
Oh, yeah, they won't go down.
No, top 10 for me, that would represent a good season for them to be in the top 10.
Yeah,
so,
and I tell you who is an impressive signing, Che Adams as well, from Birmingham City.
Well, he was obviously there last season as well, but it took him a while. But I always liked him. I thought, there's a player here, he just needs time to settle in, and he's certainly done that now.
Yeah,
and,
players.
Did really well without Danny Ings, and I think I like the way they play. I like the way they press. I think Oriol Romeo is one of the most underrated centre defensive mids in the league. James Ward-Prowse. Everybody goes on about his free kicks, and it annoys me. Because as good as they are, I feel that he gets tarnished with. He's a great set piece taker and not much else, but he is a good footballer as well. He can certainly keep things ticking over and get on the front foot in that Southampton midfield. And whilst his free kicks and set pieces are a massive part of his game, he's got good other attributes as well.
Yes, of course.
Good other attributes as well, and he's a great him Romeo seem to have a great understanding in the centre of the park.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I like watching Southampton play. And yeah, I think they're a very, very good team. And
I think Vestergaard has impressed me as well because I never really rated Yannick Vestergaard. Maybe a bit harshly because he came just after Virgil van Dijk, so you're always comparing, and he's never going to be a Virgil van Dijk. But he's playing very well at the minute, and he's Bednarek's like the one that can put his head in and will boot the ball clear when he needs to. But Vestergaard can really play as well, and seems to be able to step out with the ball. So I've gone from thinking he's rubbish to thinking that he's actually quite a good player, Yannick Vestergaard.
yeah,
And obviously Theo Walcott going home seems to loving his football. So
he seems happy there, doesn't he? He's helping with assist quite a few, and he's scored a few goals, hasn't he, since he's been back. So I think he's clearly happy.
happy to be home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, you ready to move on?
Yeah, if you are, mate. Yeah.
Yes. So Manchester City, the team that just played tonight. City, I don't know. I don't really know what to think of them, really, because they were really incredibly lucky against Southampton. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, really.
Not ruthless enough.
No.
Still play great football, but when they were, no doubt, they played the best football in the league, arguably up there with Liverpool, but in my opinion, the best football. And it pains me to say that, but they just did, like a couple of seasons ago, they were clinical, and they're not clinical anymore. And they do have, like, they take the chances. They still create a lot, but they take the chances, but they haven't done recently. So
yeah, I'm not convinced by City entirely.
they're playing well. Like, the general play is good. They just need to start scoring, and they're still, even though they've
shaky in defence, aren't they?
They've still not replaced Vincent Kompany. Not that you can replace Vincent Kompany and what he did for City, but they've still not got. Laporte's a world-class defender, and Diaz is very good, but they've still not replaced Vincent Kompany. And obviously, David Silva's a big miss for them.
Yeah.
Even as creative as De Bruyne is, and it's not De Bruyne's fault, but David Silva was great at going in the pockets and with his skill and guile, and picking players out from a shorter range, and De Bruyne would be able to get the crosses in and the long passes in, accurate passes, where Silva would pick up in the hole, like the number 10 role, and I think they really miss him. And I think it's only, I know we all love David Silva as a football fan, but I think it's only now he's gone that you see how much is he missing.
Yeah, even when he wasn't playing, to have him as an option off the bench,
Absolutely, and you look alright. Sociedad have lost the lead tonight, but you look at where Real Sociedad are, normally mid-table in La Liga, and he's gone there and they've been top most of the season, and they're in Champions League spots. So, it just shows.
Yeah, it's absolutely great, isn't it?
And City do have some very creative players, but I think they're missing. The other thing is Aguero's getting injured a lot more now. And as good as Jesus is, I've got no doubt he's a top quality player, but he's not a world class player yet. And he doesn't score enough of his chances. So, but City are playing well, and in the build-up generally, they were awful in the Manchester derby. It's the most boring game I've ever seen. But
On the subject of Aguero, can you see him going after this season?
I think if City can't score enough goals, then he won't go. But it's not going to last forever
No.
at the top level. So if Jesus isn't the answer, I think City need to bring in another striker. Even
Yes.
if Jesus is the answer, which he might be because he's a good player, but I do believe that that he needs to that they need another striker anyway, because Aguero's not gonna last. He might last one more season at the top level. Just because injuries and time's catching up with him, he's getting on a bit now. So yeah, but there's no doubt he's been a quality player, and it's like trying to replace Thierry Henry at Arsenal. You can't.
No.
You can't do it. They've had some good strikers like Van Persie, people like
Sanchez.
that, but you can't replace what he did, and I don't think he'll be able to replace, certainly not in the next 25 years, what Aguero did for City. So
No.
But I do. City will be fine. City will get in the top four. No,
I feel it's an end of an era for Aguero, I think. I have a feeling this
Well, you
season.
look at that. David Silva came around at the same time. Yaya Toure, Vincent Company, and he's the only one left really
Yeah.
of that era, of the Zabaleta, Kolarov, that Joe Hart era. So yeah, it is the end of an era, and it will be when he goes. Because that was when City started to become a force, when the players I've just mentioned were brought. But yeah, there's no doubt in his quality. But City will be fine. City, whether they'll challenge for the title, I wouldn't put it past them yet to challenge for it, because it has been such an open season. But top four for me, they'll still get in the top four, no problem.
See, for me, I'm not sure. The last few seasons, obviously, yes, they've been up there, but no, I don't know.
You don't think they'll get in the top four?
No, I'm not really sure, to be honest, mate. No.
That astounds me. That because I really do think they will. They'll get in they will get in the top four, but yeah, I can see why. They've definitely got a weaker underbelly, but I think over the season, and teams can get at them a bit more, but over the season they'll definitely get in the top four for me.
Well,
But
we will see, won't we?
Have we got any comments, by the way, tonight?
Last time I looked, there wasn't. No, not tonight.
I'm not surprised. We've probably got sick of us. But we've recovered it well.
We have. I think it's been a good show tonight. Obviously, it was a bit wobbly, but right.
That was my fault when Jordan left. I didn't.
No, it's all right. I don't know where George's gone, to be honest. But I don't think he'll be coming back now.
No.
Right, let's move on to Aston Villa. I really like Aston Villa. Got some really good players. El Ghazi.
Ninth, aren't we now?
What's that?
We're ninth now, aren't we?
Yes.
Villa. Yeah, carry on, sorry.
El Ghazi, Ollie Watkins, Jack Grealish, Ross Barkley. Got some really good players.
Tyrone Mings looks a lot better this year.
Yes, he does.
I think a big part of that, because I've always thought Villa have got good defenders, but I think a big part of that has been Emi Martinez from Arsenal, who I really like. I thought he was really good at Arsenal last year.
Yes, they should have never sold Martinez, I think.
It's been excellent, and having a good goalkeeper for your defenders can really help raise their game as well. Where when your keeper's a bit uncertain, I know Reina wasn't uncertain, but they went for a few goalies last year, so
Yeah,
and I think having a consistent goalie
yeah.
um,
Talking
is
of Villa, you know, obviously, Tom Heaton. Do you think that he's? Do you think the way things are going when he's back from his injury? Do you think that he's going to be likely to get, you know, the number 1 jersey, or is it not certain?
I won't be so sure. I mean, Tom Heaton has been a wonderful goalie for Burnley and for you know, for other clubs, and he's been in the England squad, and I think he's a really good keeper. But one, you don't know how he'll respond after having such a long time out. Two, he is getting older, so his body won't.
34, yeah.
He might not be as flexible as he used to, especially with having an injury. I mean, and Martinez is playing really well. Do I think he'll challenge Martinez? Yes, and it's very healthy competition because he is more than capable of getting back in that side, even though Martinez has done so well. But I think at the minute you can't really take Martinez's out of the team. I don't think. What do you think? I mean, Tom Eaton certainly got the quality to challenge, but and I think he will. And there's every chance he'll get back in the side ahead of Martinez. But I think he'll have to prove himself again because I think Martinez has got the shirt at the minute.
No, I agree with you. I think
I don't see how you can drop Martinez.
No.
At the moment.
And, you know, I wasn't expecting Bernd Leno, you know, to come straight back into Arsenal, you know, after his injury. And I don't think Leno has done particularly that great after him since he's returned.
So where do you stand on that? Because did you think Tommy was a good goalkeeper?
Yes, I thought he was a good goalkeeper for Burnley. And, you know, when Villa signed him, I thought that's a really good signing. But he's been, you know, I'm just looking here, he was 11 months out. He came back in a game last month for Burnley, under 23s. But yeah, I think if they continue to, you know...
He can certainly challenge, can't he? But do you think he'll get back in the side, or...?
No, I think it's going to be very hard for him. I think Eaton's actually going to be second choice, I think. And I think Martinez, like you, I think they're doing so well with him. Why pull him out?
And I'm by no means saying that Martinez and Tom Heaton at his best. I'm not saying Martinez is a better goalie than Tom Heaton. Because I think Tom Heaton at his best was brilliant. But I just think he probably will be number 2 now. However, there's no reason why he can't push him, and I'm sure he will in training and stuff. And what an option for a number 2 keeper. What an option to have. Even if he was somebody like City or United, to have Tom Heaton as a number 2 option, backup goalkeeper is fantastic. And I'm by no means saying he will be back up, but I think it'll be really healthy competition between the two of them. So,
it will. That's what you want, isn't it? You know, healthy competition.
You do, because it raises everybody's standards. Now, I think Martinez hasn't really dropped his standards, one because he's very professional, but one because he's at a new club and he's playing every week and he's probably enjoying that. But, you know, he could he could get if Heaton wasn't there or a top keeper to challenge him. He could get complacent, but the fact that he's been at a new club has helped with that because he's had to prove himself again. And Heaton coming back will only intensify his concentration and bring the best out of both goalkeepers as well.
He was at Arsenal for quite a long time, wasn't he, Martinez? So clearly he was very patient for his chances.
He was, but I think after playing for the first team at Arsenal, probably thought, well, I'm 29 now, and I'm only, I think he was 29. He is 29.
Yes.
He probably thinks, well, I've probably got 6 years left in me, say at the top level, before I start to go down a bit, because obviously keepers last a bit longer. But you only get one career, and quite rightly, he felt like he should be a number one.
Oh, you're right, yes. But
challenged by Heaton, it's a very, very. He'll be happy to have Tom Heaton there as well, because it will push them both on. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And like you said, from what I've seen from Martinez, in interviews and stuff, he's a very professional guy. Never moans. So yeah, I think he'll do them good, but I don't think Heaton will be number one. I don't think.
No, but there's no saying that Heaton can't become the number one.
No, I know. I just think that he won't.
Yeah. Not straight away, anyway.
No. Right, and Villa.
I certainly wouldn't have an issue putting Heaton in. There was an issue.
Yeah, Villa won't go down. I think 9th is actually a very good place for Villa, actually.
They've got 2 games in hand as well.
Yes, let me just see who they're playing next. So, Premier League. Whoops.
They've got 2 games in hand as well, because that game, they started a game late and then they missed the game against Newcastle because of the COVID training ground.
Oh, yeah. So they play Boxing Day against Crystal Palace. Villa at home, I think they'll probably win that, actually.
So if they win their 2 games in hand, they could go like 5th or 4th, I think.
And then they've got Chelsea on Monday the 28th of December.
They're a good game.
Yeah.
But if they win the games in hand as well as keep winning in the league now, they might finish be a real surprise package, Villa, because they have got 2 games in hand, which means they've got 6 points available that not a lot of other teams have got. Because United and City have got a game in hand, but only 1 game because Villa have got 2 now because of that Newcastle game as well. So they're the only side that can still gain another 6 points because they've not played the same amount of games.
Yes. Right. Okay. So. Yes. I think Villa will finish in 9th. I think.
I think they might finish about 11th, Villa, and all said and done. But they'll certainly be in that mid-table bracket, which will be a massive improvement.
Yep.
Compared to last season.
West Ham United. Ready to move on?
Yeah.
West Ham United. West Ham have been really, really very good. The
lost last night, but played very well actually.
Yes. They've generally, apart from last night, they've won pretty much most of their games, haven't they? Recently, all drawn.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really, really great for them.
I think David Moyes has got a solid base going there.
Yes, I think you have to.
they got over the disappointment of the sale of Grady Dean Garner, which was an issue at the start of the season.
Well, yes, we said in this show, didn't we, that we thought that that could prove very toxic for West Ham.
And particularly the way West Ham started, I thought they might get relegated, but now, I think they'll be all right.
What's really interesting that Mark Noble, they seem to be doing really fine without him.
He's getting old now, Will.
Yes. Oh yes, I know, but
He's been a good player, but he's been a very good top professional. But even he played last night, and I thought it looked like he was aging a bit. So
yeah. But I thought they would slightly struggle without him because he was such a key player for them, loads. So but no, they seem to be.
I think he's slightly over the hill now. I'm not saying he should retire, but I think his best days are behind him. Been a brilliant professional, though.
He's been a great player, hasn't he? A great servant to that club, very loyal to that club.
Yeah, never moved.
No, one club man like Ryan Giggs.
Yeah. Matt Letizia, people like that.
Yeah. So
Stephen Gerrard.
Yeah, exactly. So
John Terry, sorry.
No, I get what you mean. And you don't often get that these days, do you? Players that are one club players.
No, but he's an older player, isn't he? He's probably he's probably in the Stephen Gerrard, Frank Lampard, that era of player, even though he's still playing, like, he's in their era, because he's played in their era. So,
he is, yeah.
So it's probably the last of that kind of thing. Although people say one-man clubs is a dying art, and in a lot of ways it is, and we won't see it much again, people say, but it won't surprise me if people like Marcus Rashford and possibly
I think Rashford will, because he's actually a United fan and he's a Mancunian, at heart. So.
And Harry Kane might stay, depending. Harry Kane could stay at Spurs for his career. I could see that.
Yes, I could see that as well.
As long as nothing drastic happens, of course.
Yeah.
So I think while it's less common now, because there's more money and teams come after you more, particularly if you're at a lower club, then yeah, I think it can still happen. It's a lot rarer, but yeah, I think there are a few players there. It wouldn't surprise me if James Ward-Prowse, I'm not saying any of these would, but it wouldn't surprise me if James Ward-Prowse would stay now until the end of his career.
No.
Yeah. As long as they don't get relegated or anything like that, because he came through their academy, didn't he? So
he did, yeah.
They've had a great academy, Southampton have.
They have, yeah. Theo Walcott, Luke Shaw, yeah.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yes, absolutely, yep. Oh yeah, I forgot
Gareth Bale.
Yes. Right.
Alan Shearer came through there.
Did he?
Alan Shearer started his professional career at Southampton. He moved to Southampton.
Thought he started at Blackburn.
No, he started at Southampton.
Oh, right, okay. Matt Letizia, was he from the academy at Southampton?
In the youth teams, he was in Newcastle's youth team till about 10, but he came through. You'd say he was a product of Southampton. because he came through their academy.
Not Shearer, Letitia.
No, yeah, I was just on about Shearer. Letitia came through at Southampton, yeah.
Right, yeah.
So did Shearer.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they've had loads of players that have gone on to bigger clubs that started at Southampton. All due respect to Southampton, of course.
Oh, of course.
But yeah.
Right, I think West. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say Callum Chambers. There's another one.
Oh yeah. Right, I think West Ham will finish 10th. I think.
Oh yeah, we were on about West Ham, weren't we? And we got back. How did we get onto? Oh yeah, because we were on about Mark Noble. Yeah, but I think West Ham, David Moyes has got them in a very good structure. And I think they're about where they'll finish.
Yep.
About 10, 11, and that'll be a very good season for West Ham because it'll be good to not see them battling relegation. So.
I agree because they've been too often in a relegation scrap, haven't they?
Yeah, and it means you can't build because you're always in that scrap. But if they finish mid-table this year, then they can attract some better players.
Yeah.
Maybe push the Europe or try and win a trophy, a domestic trophy, and get in the Europa League the next season. So little avenues, slow, steady progress. I'm sure that's what West Ham fans want. So, and as soon as they get Mikel Antonio back, the best for that.
Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah, really like him. He's powerful. Can play right back, can play wing, can play strike.
Really? It's versatile, is he?
Yeah, he's played right back for West Ham when he first came, you bet.
Wow. That's what you want as a manager, player who can play in every position.
You do, but you don't want him too versatile that he can't find his natural position.
You're right.
Like a player that just gets moved around way too much.
Eric Dyer comes to mind.
Yes, a good player, but has probably suffered from being moved here, there, and everywhere.
But he seems to have settled.
But now he seems to have settled at centre half. He told Jose Mourinho he wanted to be a centre half.
Yeah.
And that's what he's become. And I'm pleased for him because he can still be that versatile player. There's no, if you needed somebody to play midfield, then I'm sure if you had a few injuries, you'd do that. You'd put him in there and say, look, I need you to play there.
For one match or something, yeah.
But at least he's got his natural position now.
Yes, yeah, it's good for him because Dyer, I liked him a lot, and then obviously he went a bit downhill, and now he seems to have picked himself up. I'm not quite sure he's still on the heights of his, 2018 World Cup. But still a good player.
He's a good option to have in the England squad, though.
Yes.
Because you can use him as a centre half or a defensive mid if we get a few injuries.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Definitely take him to the Euros.
Yes, absolutely. Right, so yes, I think West Ham finished 10th. Right, Wolves.
Funny one, Wolves. They seem to play okay one week and rubbish the next. I think they've definitely missed Jota and Doherty.
Yes.
Even though they've brought the young lad who I think will be a very good player, Fabio Silva, is it? But he's still very young.
Yeah.
And I'm not too sure about Nelson Semedo. I have to be honest, he's come from Barcelona.
Didn't do well at Barcelona, did he?
But played for Barcelona, so he's obviously got talent. But I'm not. I'm not sure about him at all. He's looked a bit edgy. When I say edgy, I mean not he. He's not edgy, but he's not looked
nervy.
He's not looked the most nervy. He's not looked the most assured, and he's giving away some silly goals and silly penalties.
No, yeah, I get you. I get what you're talking about.
And obviously the main man's out.
Raul
We wish him
Jimenez, yeah.
well. Great player. He could play for Real Madrid as a striker. I think he's absolutely top draw striker.
He could, but I think they'd want to go for something more younger. Couldn't see him going to Madrid now.
No, yeah, I get the age thing. But I was surprised they signed a new 5-year deal at Wolves, because I thought some big teams would try and come after Raul Jimenez. Not that Wolves aren't a big team, but I just thought some of maybe Europe's elite, because he's got to that age now where that was probably his one chance for one big move left.
Yeah,
in his career.
but maybe he's happy where he is.
Yeah, I definitely think he could play for a Champions League club. I don't know what you think, but
Yeah,
I think
yes, I think he could, because he's a fantastic player. I mean, he was linked with United, and I would have signed him for United. I would have.
Definitely, yeah. But I think he would have cost us about 90 million.
That is ridiculous. It's insane.
There were rumours he wanted to leave Wolves at the end of last season, but they've obviously convinced him. He's signed a new 5-year deal.
Yeah, so we'll see. So Wolves are they are 11th. So I reckon, well, they won't go down. So I think that'll probably be a place for them. I think.
Oh yeah, I think Wolves might finish. I think they'll finish higher than 11th. I'm going to go 9th.
Oh right, okay. Yeah,
year.
I have to say I'm quite shocked with the way Wolves have gone this season, because I would have thought, the last few seasons they've been building something good. They've been doing well in the Europa League.
They've lost some good players.
Oh, they have, yes.
I mean, you look at what Jota's doing it.
Doherty is doing really good at Tottenham.
As well, yeah.
They finally replaced Kieran Trippier and Kyle Walker, in Doherty.
I know it's not really getting in a minute, is he?
Who?
Doherty.
I thought he was pretty much starting.
So he was at the start of the season, but Serge Aurier is playing there for us.
Oh, well, to be honest, I think Aurier's either garbage or average anyway, and the only useful thing he does is get a yellow or red card.
He's played quite well this season.
He has. He's picked up, actually, because I've never been a particular fan of his, but he has picked up, yeah. But I still think...
Yeah.
I still think Doherty's the better one.
I agree, but he has definitely improved defensively. He was always good going forward, already, but he's definitely improved his defence. But anyway, they're definitely missing him, Wolves.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know whether I read something, but I think Doherty might have been an injury. Might have had an injury or something.
Oh right, okay.
Oh no, there's not. There's nothing about an injury here, so maybe he's just out of favour.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, and it's funny. I've looked in an article, and 3 weeks ago, saying Aurier could be free to go because the Doherty they finally found the right back, and now Aurier is regularly playing, so that's crazy.
Yeah, there's been talk of Aurier leaving for about 2 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm looking at the time, Well, and it's 10:30.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh. He had to self-isolate actually.
Oh, Doherty did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Right.
Oh no, hang on. Oh no, sorry, that was Aurier. Oh, sorry, yeah, never mind. Anyway, yeah, let's keep going. So yeah, I think Wolves will finish in 11th. Right, Newcastle.
Newcastle, they've got to be careful they don't get dragged into a relegation fight for me.
Yes, I think.
They're a good side when they've got everybody fit, but obviously they've had issues with COVID. But I do think the way they play, I think they've got to be careful they don't just get dragged into the fight. I'm not saying they'll get relegated, but always have a bottom 6 or 7 clubs that all have to fight to stay in the league. And at the minute, they're just above that.
Yeah,
be careful.
I think Steve Bruce lets himself down really at times, and the players must be so frustrated, with his style.
My dad thinks he's underrated.
He was a great player, Steve Bruce. I've seen clips of him playing, and I've heard people talk about him as a player, but as a manager, I've never rated him, to be honest.
I think he does a job, but yeah, I think there'll always be pressure on Steve being a club like Newcastle. But Newcastle are okay, but I don't think they'll go down. Got too much to go down.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go down.
But they've got to be careful they don't get dragged into that conversation.
Yes, and let's hope that the Lascelles and St Maximin are back on the pitch soon.
And let's hope that everybody that's been affected by COVID at Newcastle, whether it be players or staff, are okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know Lascelles and St Maximin are suffering with long COVID effects, but they might not be the only ones. Some of the background stuff might have it. So
no, of course not. Right, yeah, I think Newcastle will finish 12th. I think, yeah, that'd be a really good place for Newcastle.
I'm not sure they'll finish 12th, but they might finish about 14th, or between 14th and 10th. Newcastle.
Oh right, okay.
But they won't get relegated.
No. So Crystal Palace.
Again, probably got too much firepower to go down with Eze and Zaha.
Yes.
Even though they lost 7-0, they won't go down, Palace.
Well, nobody expected them to beat Liverpool, did they?
But Roy Hodgson is defensively got them well set up, even though they did lose 7-0. And they won't go down.
No.
We've got good players in Milivojevic, good senior pros in Milivojevic, got Dan, Sacco.
The big question is, sorry to interrupt you, Sam, but the big question is, will Wilfried Zaha finally get his move at the end of the season, do you think?
I don't know. Who knows? I've said yes every time we have not gone, so yeah. But Palace for me could finish in the top 10 this year. I know they've had that result, but they'll finish again between 10th and 15th.
They're very inconsistent.
They could finish in the top 10 because you look at the attacking, very defensively well drilled. We've got the workhorses in Milivojevic and MacArthur. But then you look further forward and they've got Zaha, Townsend, Eze, Ayew, Benteke. So I think they might finish between 15th and 10th.
On paper, yes, but football's not played on paper and they're too inconsistent for me. So while they won't go down, I think 13th would be a realistic place for them.
Yeah, I don't think you can say 13th exactly because I think it'll, it'll.
Well, okay, 13th, 14th, or 15th. One of those.
Yeah, Because obviously it will change a little bit.
Yes. In their whereabouts. So, Leeds United 14th.
Leeds, again, the way they play, have too much to go down. Because I think they'll win enough games to stay up with the way they play. And they'll have too much intensity for
Yes.
teams. So I don't think they'll go down, but they have to be careful again. Another thing they have to be careful not to be dragged into a relegation battle. But we all love watching Leeds, and I don't think they'll go down. Do you?
No, they won't go down. Although the only thing I'd be concerned for Leeds if the number of goals they concede could drag them into they could still score lots of goals but still get in the relegation zone because of the goals that they're conceding.
You mean into a battle to stay up? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Although I think if they just tighten up here and there, they score enough goals.
But and
I think they will overwhelm. Some teams with their energy, and they never say their attitude, and they certainly, you look at all the lower sides, and they do all play a lot more defensive, obviously, because they have to be built on defense to stay in the league. But all the lower sides do, and that's how they stay up. Be like to Burnleys and Palaces, and Newcastle's, but Leeds are just completely different to that. They play open, expansive football.
Yes.
But they'll have too much to go down. Then they'll survive in the first season back, I think. Do you agree?
Yes, I think they'll survive. Yeah, and I really want them to survive because I really enjoy watching Leeds play.
And Bielsa's a character.
He is, yeah. It'd be interesting to see if, next season, if Leeds do stay up, whether he'll have the time to finally, pick up the language a bit more and won't need the translator, because I don't know.
He only signs 1 year contracts, though, so it'd be interesting.
Yeah. Well, but actually, that's good signing a 1 year contract because it means, they're taking it step by step, really. I don't think signing a 5 year contract or even a 3 year contract. I think really people should sign contracts 1 year and then if they do well, sign for another year and then another year.
Yeah, but I suppose if you're a player trying to convince...
Well...
If you're a player trying to come to the club, you're going to say, well, how long's the manager going to be there because you want to play for the manager? And if you don't know...
I get that, but the way football's going, at least, imagine if they sign a new contract immediately and then they get sacked, not long after. So you'd avoid that. But you'd still, you'd be moving steadily. But I also get your point as well. Anyway, Leeds United, I think they'll finish pretty well, either where they are 14th or somewhere in that area.
Between 14th and 10th.
Yes. Arsenal, 15th. Not looking good.
Wow. No, I'd like to get it out there. I do not think Arsenal will go down.
No, Arsenal will not go down. I will be stunned if they go down.
It'll be crazy to me. I've heard it on the telly this week, and I think it's crazy to suggest that.
Alan Shearer thought they were gonna. Thinks they could go down.
Does he? Well, I think Alan Shearer's wrong.
But he did also have a good point of thinking about some of Arsenal's players not wanting to play for Arteta and some of them not working hard enough, like Pepe. The game on Match of the Day, Pepe not going that extra mile, not...
Oi, oi.
JLIWheels is back.
Where on earth have you been? I started talking when we all left, and carried on for a bit after you'd gone, and nobody was there, so I kept coming back into out of the group to see where everybody was, and then eventually Will came back.
He's back after his mysterious absence.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I said?
No, I didn't. Where were you up to?
No, did you hear what I just said? Yeah.
Oh, you heard talking and then nobody responded.
No, when you went off, I carried on, and then because Will was having his tablets, and then
Mate, you're a true hero.
yeah. But then I went off to come back on again because I didn't know if the stream was still running, and then eventually Will came back and saved my baby.
In the face of internet issues, at least Sam is the man.
Oh, so did you have internet issues then, did you?
Yeah, well, it was a number of things. There was one, my internet was being flaky, and two, like when I could come back and I saw like you guys trying to get hold of me, like it was just noisy as hell in my house. So I was like, I might as well just leave it and wait.
Okay.
Okay, well we're just up to Arsenal, and we better be quick because we've been on this for ages.
Yep. Well, we're not doing too bad now.
Please
So
tell
yeah.
me you've checked the comments.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, I've been in and out checking. Oh, hang on.
Don't know sent us loads.
Oh, sorry. Last time I checked.
I asked you, are you checking the comments like 5 minutes ago?
Will
And you said
don't know sent us 4 comments 10 minutes ago, so I'll read them out. What are you guys saying about Højbjerg? Not gonna lie, the way Spurs hype him up like he's the best centre mid annoys me. Doherty ain't bad, he's good for the price. Where did you say Arsenal will finish? And Will, are you wearing your Manchester red shirt in preparation for tomorrow's big match?
Yes.
You go
I
first.
think an apology there, Will, because I kept asking you like.
Right. Apologies, Duncan, for missing out your comments. Yes. I think I am wearing it for tomorrow's match. Yes.
I would go on, carry on.
And where do we think Arsenal will finish? Well, I don't think they'll finish 15th, surely. I think they'll pick themselves up, and I think they'll finish in the Europa League places, I think.
7th or 8th, I think. It depends
Yeah.
what they do with Arteta.
Yeah, there's no way they're going down. I would just like to say to Dunk now, if you did see the start of the show, buddy, then or the middle bit, I should say, where Will went off and then Jordan left, and I was just chatting for a bit about the Arsenal Man City game, and then I left and came back because I didn't know where.
Yeah. And
everybody
I'd
had
also
gone.
like to apologise if you can hear noise from my house because
So
that's why
I'd like to apologise if you wondered what was going on there.
It's not
but
too bad actually, the noise in your house actually.
We've picked it up and carried on. So
What do I think about Højbjerg? Højbjerg is, I think, better than I thought he was, having seen him play, but not as good as everybody makes out, having also seen him play.
I agree.
I think he's been.
But I thought he was rubbish when Tottenham brought him, but actually I've grown to start to like him. But he's not better than Aurelio Romeo, say, who's the most underrated defensive.
Aurelio Romeo is great.
That's what I'm saying.
I haven't seen quite a bit of Southampton recently. Aurelio Romeo is great.
That's what I'm saying. He's the most underrated defensive midfielder in the league.
I
He
think.
could go. Sorry, just to finish the point. He could go to the top. He could go to a top team.
Yes, he could.
Whether he will or not, who knows?
Højbjerg.
Arsenal. As we're on Arsenal, we got don't know there.
What was the score?
4-1.
Yikes.
Not
It
good.
was 1-1. It was 1-1, and then Mara scored from a free kick, and Laporte scored from a free kick.
Just because Will keeps talking about Sociedad, they got beat today by Atletico Madrid.
They did, yeah. We went through that. We
Which
did.
puts Atletico 3 points clear with the game in hand, like I said earlier on.
Still doing well though. So
With the game in hand on Madrid, and 3 games in hand on Sociedad in third. Barcelona 3-0 up with Messi surpassing Pele's record of 643 goals for one club. With his 644.
Ooh.
How many club goals has Ronaldo scored in his career? No, he's played for different
More
clubs.
than Messi and Pele, but he's also 2 years older.
Yeah.
So
No.
I think once Ronaldo retires, Messi will. Well, it depends what happens with Messi. It depends whether he drops off.
He will at some point. No doubt. Anyway, back to Arsenal. Yeah, they won't get relegated. I'm sorry, don't know, because I know we had this conversation after the league game. We thought Arsenal could be in a bit of trouble, but I think it's ludicrous to say that Arsenal could get relegated. Because
No.
I think
They
just
won't
too
go
big,
down.
and they won't go down.
If they go
no
down,
club-
we will all be
no
incredibly
clubs-
stunned.
No club's too big to go down, but I think Arsenal will just be too good for that.
I mean, let's not forget that
Even if they stick with Arteta, sorry.
Yeah. I want to also go back to Højbjerg. I think he's been better at Tottenham than he was at Southampton for me.
Yeah, but he was I think he was good enough to move up a level for Southampton. But I think because of the position he plays in, like Romeo, I don't think people realise. I think like somebody with like a manager and like that look at all those different stats.
I'm that type of player.
Right.
Poor old Dunkno is responding, so he probably left. Don't laugh, it's not funny.
Sorry. So yeah, I think Arsenal.
There goes another
Yeah. We are a slippery slope here on the TubeMix channel at the moment.
Yeah, it's a very mixed up channel. That's well.
So can we
Keep it going, Will.
for my benefit, I'm just gonna have a look how long we've actually been on here for, so I know. We've been on for 2.5 hours, which is a ridiculous amount. Considering we said we weren't gonna do that, but you know.
Please,
Will's just having a fit, because all he knows is laughing.
Can we just finish off this?
I know, I have to record a video, I do, after this as well.
Sorry. Right. Yep.
Well, we ended up going through all the teams because we went there. So right.
Yeah. Or can you just like, I'm gonna ask Sam to do it because you go around the houses, but can you go over what you said about certain teams? Not all of them.
So we said that United are very fortunate to be where they are, but will probably come unstuck, as we know. Chelsea will finish in the top 4. Everton have a squad that could get European first 11 and maybe first 13 or 14 that could get European football, but probably the squad's not good enough. we don't think Palace will go down because they've got too much. We don't think Leeds will go down because while they are very open and concede lots of goals, they'll have too much energy, too much guile and skill and fire for some teams. For enough teams as Spurs top 4, I said.
So what
for
do
me,
you think about United then? If you put Spurs and Chelsea top 4, with what have you said about United?
United scraping to get top 6. City top 4, but Will didn't agree.
What did Will say?
What did you say, Will?
No, he goes round the houses. You tell me.
Will just said he doesn't think they'll finish in the top 4, but they'll be pushing for the Europa League spot.
There's no way with the squad that they've got. The problem is with City is I think with Aguero being injured, you can see how heavily they rely on him.
We've said that, and we've said they need another striker, and even if Jesus is the answer, but I don't think Jesus.
Don't get me wrong, Jesus is brilliant.
He's a good player, but he's not world class.
Actually, I've got a prediction. I think City will get Luciano Martinez from Inter Milan.
No way, no.
We've said Villa could go higher because they've got 2 games in hand now rather than 1 because of the Newcastle missing that one and they already had a game in hand. So
depends if the games in hand are. Games in hand are
Newcastle and somebody else. So yeah, because United and City have a game in hand, but now Villa have 2. Yeah, and then we just talking about Arsenal. So if you want to carry on.
Yes. Arsenal will finish, in the Europa League places, I think.
I agree.
No, I think lower.
Okay.
There's too many players. There's too many teams. Sorry, in better form than them that are chasing as well. Like when you think about it, you've got Spurs. When you think about it, this is the entire top 4 at the minute: Liverpool, Leicester, Spurs, Everton, United, Chelsea, Southampton. I don't think there's no way that Arsenal will get top 6.
Right. Okay. Well, fair enough. Right. So
I think
Burnley.
they'll get top 10, surely. But
Burnley won't go down. Burnley will finish anywhere between 16th and 10th.
See, I don't know why the conversation is, will such and such a team go down? Like, considering that we're reviewing the season, it should be, Burnley looked in trouble, but over the last couple of weeks they've done really well.
Which is true.
And they battered Wolves.
They did.
Wolves. They relied on a penalty to get a consolation, but other than that, they are pretty woeful.
Will, are you alright?
No, he's having a laughing fit, isn't he? I can hear him.
Will, please try and stay focused because I'm about to fall asleep and I've been on this for 3 bloody hours.
And we've got to do it all again tomorrow night.
What?
United are on, aren't they, against Everton?
Oh, count me out for that.
Why? 'Cause you can't be on.
Yeah.
Well, after tonight's one, probably won't do the United one tomorrow, I don't think.
We got the one on Thursday, though.
Yes.
Oh, is it on Thursday? Sorry, not tomorrow.
No, they are playing tomorrow. But no, I think I'm good. Good at.
Why are we on Thursday?
I've already doing the quiz.
Right, okay, so what do you want to do, Will? We can either do one tomorrow and add a quiz in, because Ben can do tomorrow,
Alright.
Oh gosh, yes he can, yeah.
or
Thank God for that.
we book tomorrow off and do one on Thursday, but we said we were going to do Christmas. We all of our friend group were going to talk on Christmas Eve and not mess about with this shit.
Yes, yeah.
Brilliant.
So,
Why don't we do tomorrow?
so
Well-
I think that I will prepare a quiz for us all to do tomorrow.
I think we should do it tomorrow, especially if Ben can make it.
I'll try and get a hold of Alex and see whether he fancies it. I'll tell him there's a quiz, he might get involved.
Just don't pressure it.
No.
My name is not Will. My name is not Will. Okay, I won't pressure anybody.
I don't.
Can we
I
just
don't
carry
put.
on because I'm about to literally drop.
Burnley doing fantastic for me. Considering what the-
Defensively solid,
Considering-
which is the trademark of any side. staying
The
up.
main thing is they've had the least to work with out of any of the teams in the Premier League, in my opinion. They brought in a second string midfielder from Brighton on a free and a third choice goalkeeper, and that's it.
Who was the second string midfielder?
Dale Stevens.
Oh, he has not played, has he?
So really, they've done great.
He's not playing, is he, Stevens?
No. And as well, like all their good midfield players, experienced midfield players. You know, Westwood's playing really well. Jack Cork's injured at the minute, but he's just signed a new deal.
It's a good
So I
player.
don't know. I think Burnley are in a good place.
I do. And I love Shaw.
We know there's no need to talk about Burnley getting relegated. They've got Sean Dyche, who's turned into like Burnley's version of Big Sam. You know he's going to do enough.
I don't think Burnley get enough credit for some of the football they play as well. Everybody says they're on board, but they actually play some good football too.
I think it's hard, isn't it? Because the football they do play, when they do play good, is good. But
And it's because you can only do if you tried to play with those players like Pep Guardiola, they'd be bottom of the league by a mile because they can't play like that. You've got to play to your players' strengths. Their strength is being physical, hard to beat, and competitive and outwork the opposition.
Yes.
yeah. Anything else to say on on Burnley?
No. Right. Brighton. It's a shame, isn't it, with Brighton? Because
Very bright, but haven't got the points to show it.
I think at the end of the day, yeah, this is another one where, as time's gone on, but oh yeah, they play good football. You know, it doesn't really wash, because Sheffield United have played good football. I think they have played good stuff at times, but
I agree.
they're not scoring. Same as Brighton, and if you don't score, you're in trouble.
Brighton don't. If you concede goals over scoring them, then you're in deeper trouble. But Brighton, you need to score so many goals. You know, you're not going to get Burnley that score more than they concede, but they don't concede that many compared to other teams around them. Where
no.
I think Brighton don't score enough, to be honest, and I think they could probably concede an amount that outweighs what they score.
I think
by
it's
a
interesting,
massive.
'cause I think if you look at it like Fulham aren't doing very well, but they've got players that can score. They're
Yes.
low down. but They've
Lookman.
got players that can score. You know,
And
definitely.
they've improved. They have improved
Yeah.
defensively.
They have improved, and when we get to Fulham, what I'm going to say is I think Fulham will stay up. That's my
Yes,
opinion.
I think Fulham will
I
stay
do
up as
feel
well.
I think they've sorted the defensive problems out.
They did exactly what they needed to do, and that's that. But in terms of Brighton, they have got good defenders, the likes of Dunk and Ben White and Dan Burns. Also, somebody that
There's talk of Basuma going, isn't there, as well?
When everybody thought that, why have Brighton signed Dan Burn? He's 6'6" and he's playing whatever position, full back. He's actually done quite well.
And I think Brighton, if you look at Brighton, they create loads of chances, but they don't score. And they particularly don't score and kill off games when they're on top. Which yesterday.
I think as well, I just heard Will say about Bissouma. I think Bissouma will go because he's one of the best players in that team.
Yeah.
He's okay.
To me, and this is, again, my opinion, I think Bissouma is the best player in Brighton's team.
Better than Lamptey.
No, I said creatively. In terms of Lamptey, he does both very well.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, creatively.
Yeah,
I disagree. Lallana's the best player.
Lallana's good. Lallana's good, and again, he can do it. But it's also, it is about the numbers as well. In terms of assists, in terms of key passes, and maybe
he is the best player. Lallana, who's played for Liverpool.
He's a very good player.
There are a couple of players in that squad that, on that logic, you could say, Welbeck's better than blah blah blah, which he probably is if he's full and fit. Like Lallana would be the best player in that team if he's fit, but he can't stay fit for 5 minutes. That being said, I'm really glad that Danny Welbeck seems fit at the minute. He's only scored 2 goals, I know, but it's 2 more goals than he's scored in about 3 years, isn't it? So,
yeah.
But I think Brighton are in trouble. Well, they're one of those ones that I wouldn't like to say would they stay up or not.
I don't think they'll go down.
There's a chance.
There's a couple.
What Brighton have to do is take the chances.
If we look at the Premier League table, for me, in terms of safety, the entire of, I don't know, maybe
top 10.
Other than Arsenal, for me, 14th being Leeds and 20th being Sheffield United, all have a chance of going down. I don't think Leeds will go down, but
I said that they could get dragged in.
Yeah, I think that the Bielsa style invites them to either go right the way up the table or right the way down.
Yeah.
Burnley, I'm pleased they're doing well, but the Burnley that they always are in the mix of going down. Brighton
They finished 10th last year, didn't they?
Yeah, but I mean, like, they're a sort of lower mid-table side, aren't they? That's what I'm saying.
I agree. Apart from that 1 year where they finished 7th.
Brighton need to start scoring.
Yes.
I agree that I don't think it's about the play style. There's a lot. I've seen a lot of people slagging off Graham Potter. Why is everybody so positive about Brighton when, like, Graham Potter's done nothing to advance the club? I don't agree with that.
He's advanced the club by his playing style.
But I also don't think he's done as good of a job as people think.
I like Graham Potter.
When you look at it, they got the highest points tally last time by 2 points. So if there was one game they wouldn't have won, they could. I think it was either 1 or 2 games they wouldn't have won. They'd have gone down. Not taking anything away from Graham Potter. I think he's good at. If I was going to say the most in trouble, Sheffield United, Brighton. I like Fulham, I think they've got enough to stay up. But in terms of Burnley, Arsenal, Leeds, I think Leeds could be in proper trouble if they don't stop the flow of goals.
Yes, that's what me and Sam were saying before.
Like I said, it could go either way, but it's not seemed to go either way for quite a few weeks now. That kind of exciting Leeds. That they battered Newcastle 5-2, but we know that Newcastle are too different, like too on the back foot when they don't. Really
They could be dragged into it.
Yeah, tell you what. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't think Palace will be. That's why I stopped at.
No. All I'm saying is that they've just got to be careful. That's all.
Like you said with them, they're the quintessential mid-table team. So
yeah,
I think you're right. They could be dragged in, but
I don't remember.
I think Steve Bruce will lose his job before they're allowed to be dragged in. Just quickly then, because obviously Paul Sam's been here forever. Fulham are 18th. I think they've got enough to stay up. I think they've.
I don't think they'll
I
go
do
down.
now. They've got the defensive stuff sorted out. Yeah.
I think they were really, really hard done by against Newcastle. Yes, it was a red card. Yes, Anderson was the last man, but the foul was outside the box. If the contact finished in the box, which it did, but it started outside the box, it's a free kick, not a pen. So they should have come away from Newcastle with a 1-0 win. They didn't. They're back in it. Back in the relegation zone, obviously, but they do have enough. They've got players that have been there and done it before with Fulham as well. Ademola Lookman's changed the team. We've talked about it. I wasn't keen on Areola over Rodak in goal before, but now he's played a couple of games. I think he's a great keeper. I like Ola Aina and Joe Bryan. I like
Adebayo from Man City.
Fuck me, I'll just give up saying these names. Some of them,
Adebayo,
like Sabolazai, I can pronounce perfectly. But others, like Adebayo, get in. I struggle with. They'll be okay. That's what's difficult, is I think there are a number of teams I feel will be okay, like West Brom. I think if West Brom go down with Big Sam, I will be super shocked.
I hope they do.
That's
Is
not
that
very
because
nice.
you're gonna?
I'm sorry, but I just do not like Sam Allardyce, so I
Because
hope
you
he
don't
does
like
go
Big
down.
Sam. But look, right, Will, this is the problem, right? Whatever issues you've got with a person, you can't argue if they get results. Big Sam gets results.
I'm gonna stay quiet.
Well, that's you, but I think what doesn't help is that the Premier League experience that West Brom have got has kind of sort of imploded on them. You know, you look at Gibbs getting sent off and getting himself out of the team because he punched James Rodriguez. And Liverpool's tackle on Grealish the other night was cynical as hell.
I love a good tackle, but
I know, but it was a bit.
No, you didn't let me finish. I said I love a good tackle, but that was way too over the top.
It was dry. It was just
shocking.
Oh, it was horrible.
Having said that, I didn't think John Lundstrom's tackle was a red card.
Didn't see it, to be honest.
Which he did go with his studs, but he got something on the ball. So
I know, but studs up has always been the thing, and as soon as you studs up, you go in because it's dangerous.
Yeah, well, watch the tackle and tell me what you think. Did you see the John Lundstrom tackle? Well,
you don't watch anything that isn't United.
Right, well, watch the tackle and tell me what you think next.
West Brom. I think they've been let down by the experience they've got in the team. All the hype around Dean Garner that started the season off, he's just disappeared. Same with Pereira, disappeared. But it'll happen because they're a newly promoted side. You don't, especially with, let's say, Big Sam now. Carlin Grant, I think, is a great player, and if he was in a bigger team, he'd get more goals. And I'm trying to think of the name of the lad. Conor Gallagher seems like the bright spark in that team.
Yeah, let's face it though, when he goes back to Chelsea, he may as well just stay at West Brom or go somewhere else because he's not going to get in at Chelsea.
Well, Lampard might get him his chance.
He's shown he's good enough to make it in the Prem, but when you've got Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante, Mount, I think he's got to either go out on loan or be sold. And knowing Chelsea, he'll just go out on loan again.
Yeah, well, for me, you could argue he could be good enough to play for Chelsea, but there's no way he's going to get ahead of those names.
Well, if they have a proper pre-season, presuming what happens with the virus, who knows, he might get his chance.
No, I don't believe that. Because it's like, you've
got Billy Gilmore to come back as well.
Fikayo Tomori and Mason Mount, do you really think that if it wasn't for what Frank had to deal with last season, they would have got chances? If he could have brought in a Havertz, then, do you think, a Thiago Silva then?
I think Mount would have, because he played with Mount he took Mount on loan at Derby.
The thing about Mason Mount is Lampard puts too much faith in Mason Mount. I like him. He's good, but he's not that good.
Frank seems to love him, and I think he's a good player. But Frank just seems to idolise him. It's like he goes off and gets excited about it.
So West Brom have enough to stay up, but I think ultimately, if Big Sam doesn't get results pretty much sooner away, then they're in trouble. And Sheffield United, despite probably being the better team against United,
and just not getting a result.
Yeah, and that's the thing that would worry me.
No, to stay up, they're probably going to have to win half the games.
Yeah, and I don't look at who they've got up front. They played Oliver Burke up front against United. He played well. I'm not saying he didn't. They
need to give Brewster a run.
They then play David McGoldrick, who, despite the fact that he's not a very good footballer, does well.
He is a good footballer, he's just not a very good goal scorer.
No, but what I'm saying is that's the thing. He's a striker, his primary role on the pitch is to score goals. You're not scoring goals, that's the problem. And then I think they've got too many strikers that are too alike. Because
that's why they need to give. I like Muse.
Muse is tall and strong.
He's quick as well.
Yeah. McBurney, tall and strong. Dave McGoldrick, tall and strong.
McGoldrick's not tall.
He's tall enough.
He's small in comparison to the others.
Anyway, point being, the only two that are any different are Oliver Burke and Ryan Brewster. And Oliver Burke hasn't scored in 50 senior appearances.
In what?
In 50, I think it's 50 senior appearances.
So sure why has he got his move into the Premiership? What's going on there?
God knows. But I remember Burke when he came on the scene at Forest and got the move to West Brom, and he was one of the players I was most excited about that season, and then he did absolutely nothing. And then Brewster, I think probably his problem is because he's unproven. Yeah, we got 12 goals in 18 games or something like that for Swansea.
He needs a run in the team. They're not giving him a run.
He does, What?
Chris Wilder needs to say, for the next 15 games, you're my man. Show me what he can do.
If I wouldn't like to make a prediction of who's going to go down. The only one I would say is almost a certainty is that stat that nobody that's been bottom at Christmas. I don't know whether this has changed. It probably has since
Yeah,
the last
has.
I heard it. Why?
It has.
Who's been bottom at Christmas but stayed up?
West Brom.
Oh
Somebody
yeah,
else.
because Jeff
West
Wilson
Ham.
scored the goal.
West Ham, you know, when they had Alan Kirbishley, I think they were bottom at Christmas. When they had Carlos Tevez and yeah, I think they were bottom at Christmas. I'm
Okay,
pretty
so
sure.
I'll change the way I'm saying it. It's usually very unlikely that the team that is bottom at Christmas.
And nobody with
stays
the as lower points tally as Sheffield United after this number of games have stayed up.
The thing is, I've heard people saying, could they beat Derby County's record? Like, did any of you watch Derby County? Well, you probably did, Sam. Did any of you watch Derby County play that season? They were awful.
They were the worst side I've ever seen in the
At
division.
least Sheffield United are trying.
There's not that much difference between Sheffield United last season and Sheffield United this season, and it's crazy for me to say that, but it's the small differences that are making the. No, I saw a stat, right? Because I did a quiz with my dad, and I'll tell you this: Sheffield United had the fewest shots in the league last season of any team in the league, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, they still finished in the top half. So, but that tells you something, because it tells you that they were clinical, even though they had the fewest shots in the whole league. Where this season, it's a similar story, but because they're having so few shots, they're not going in.
Now, so now that we've done that, obviously we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to do. Are we doing pre and post match?
Well, I'm not sure if I'll be actually watching the match tomorrow.
Why
Oh,
not?
good.
It should be on Sky.
Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, because tomorrow's not Christmas Eve yet. Whoops. Yes,
Jesus.
sorry.
Don't
Oh,
know what day it is.
You don't have to watch it, Will. We're not saying you have to watch it.
I'll see. I'll definitely do pre-match. I will.
Hang on, but I thought you said you wanted to do the. Okay. All right. Well.
Well, no, because we could do the quiz after the pre-match. We could.
Yeah, but then the match would have started.
You can do it post-match.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Right. Is that okay?
Yep.
Bloody hell. Right. You wanna drive us home, Will?
Yes.
I'm up for that.
So.
I've been back. What? I've been back for 40 minutes, and that was the most painful 40 minutes of my life.
Oh, sorry.
We've lost, don't we?
Yeah, I think Dunkno gave up after 10 minutes, realising his things weren't being answered. Poor bloke. We feel for you, mate.
Right.
Please stick with us, don't we?
My
Have
thanks
no
to
Dunkno.
Sam Taylor and JLIWheels for their company, boys.
I would say welcome.
I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say I would say you're welcome, but you're not really. So.
Oh, hang on, that doesn't make sense. Thanks for your company, boys. Oh no, yes it
That's
does.
what
Yes,
you always say.
yes.
Thank God.
Oh my fucking life! End it, please.
If you want to, like, share, comment.
No.
Please don't. Please.
If you want to, like, share, comment and subscribe to the TubeMix YouTube channel. And we'll see you tomorrow for the United match. So from
Kill us, please, just kill us.
Thanks for watching.
End our suffering.
so from all of us here, good night.
Bad night.